guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Couples Retreat Season 3, Episode 2, called Social Media-tor. So we're picking up this episode where we left off last episode with Shamari and Ronnie. They're going back and forth bickering over this gaslighting word that I believe it was Ronnie who put it on the wall. So nothing really to take from that. Do they get a resolution? No. I guess we're just gonna put it on the table and discuss it later type of thing situation. So they said, because she didn't accept it with the words he done put on the wall. So pretty much they said they're gonna have to work on it. So then we move on to Fallon and Jalen next. And I don't know if I wrote it down correctly, but it seems like he's not being vulnerable or intimate because of the fact that he's broke. So he wants to, in his mind is, get his paper right first before he thinks about trying to be more intimate with Fallon. I don't know if I got that right or wrong, but when I seen the one-on-one or the confessionals with Jock and Kendra, and Jock was like, well, I done had some broke sex before, so that didn't stop me type of thing. He didn't say that word for it, I'm just paraphrasing. So I'm assuming that's what Jalen was getting at, but for me, I'm kind of like, if that's the case and that's what he was saying, that don't make no sense to me. Because you know how many people out in these streets, don't matter how much type of money they got, they still doing what they do in the bed sheets with whoever, whenever. Okay. We then move on to Sharian and Apollo. Still don't know if I'm saying her name right, but hopefully over time I'll say it right, They're next. The only thing to take from them was Apollo was saying that Sharian is controlling with them. She lets us know in the confessionals that she ain't controlling, but she just likes him to do things certain ways. You might be controlling, okay? If he's saying that and you're saying that in response, you probably are, okay? I understand it's probably to help him be better, do better, move up in life like a lot of us females do. But at the same time, call it for what it is. If you control it, you control it. If you don't like that, y'all need to learn how to compromise, work through it, or, figure something out, because it ain't going to work in the long run if you controlling, okay? Y'all married now, so y'all going to have to compromise. It's not your way or the highway. A lot of people need to understand it's not your way or the highway. I feel like a lot of people have that problem. We then move on to Chris and Breezy, BRE-Z. Let's not forget that. So they continue to throw on this facade like they're the perfect couple. For me, I'm like, why are you on the show then if you guys are so perfect? But of course, it's probably for a little check. So I understand that part. But at least, come on, like, let's be real. You're not perfect. And I guess AJ done saw Breezy smoking in the elevator or whatnot. And first off, before we even get back to the show, in my head, I'm like, smoking in the elevator is not like a fire hazard. Don't they have those things on the elevator saying, don't smoke, do not smoke, fumar, all that stuff. But then I feel like I don't know if I got it right, but I feel like she probably would have said she saw her with a cigarette in her hand or in her ear. So maybe that's how it came about. But anyway, she brought it up to Chris. Chris done told her, like, she didn't want to say nothing, but she was like, I mean, I don't like it, but she's like, okay, so put this word health on the wall. Because, all they did have was positive things because, they're so perfect. So she put it on the wall, and when AJ and Tony, I think the guy's name is Tony, when they moved on to the next person, you see Chris, like, silently whispering to Breezy, like, she's sorry. She didn't know she was going to bring that up, and, she didn't want to say it, but she got her to say it. Breezy was like, that's fine, it's okay, I don't care. But for me, I'm just like, why are we first, like, this relationship is not making sense to me. Because for me, it's just like, you're trying to act like, nothing's wrong. You guys are so perfect. And then one little thing about smoking, which I don't even feel like, not that saying smoking is good, because I know it's not good, but it's like not a big issue compared to all these other people that's dealing with infidelity. That's just something about health-wise. It's like, I wish you didn't do it, because it's going to mess up your lungs, okay? Coming from a person who don't smoke, yeah, it's gonna mess up your lungs. So I don't see it for her to be apologizing like she done told everybody her personal business. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know Breezy smokes or whatever. If she'd be walking with a cigarette in her hand or on her ear, whatever the case was. So I don't know why Chris was apologizing like she was an abused puppy. I don't know if they have anything going on. I'm not saying they do, but just in the reaction of her trying to apologize and like, oh my gosh, she found out one bad thing. Like, that's, not the most, positive thing about Breezy. And it's just like the end of the world. I'm like, girl, you should calm down. Chris, calm down, because this whole dynamic just from that little snippet of you apologizing is giving, having hella question marks in my brain about what the hell going on between y'all two behind closed doors. Anyway, we then get to Jock and Kendra. They're next. I'm not even going to talk about them because there was too many things on their wall on both sides that I don't even think the producers even had enough time to put their segment on for this episode. I mean, we saw it, but I think this whole segment of them two was only like maybe 10 seconds at most. So if the producers not putting nothing on there for me to talk about, I'm definitely not going to be talking about it more than I already did now. I already spent more than 10 seconds just explaining the 10 seconds the producer showed of Jock and Kendra. So then we move on next to Fat Boy and Tiana. Nothing else to take from them. And then lastly, we get to... Do we get to Fallon? I feel like I missed Fallon. Oh no, I already talked about Fallon and Jalen. Never mind. Fat Boy and Tiana were last. Then we get everybody having a little video diary of how the exercise went and their thoughts on it, mostly Ronnie and Shamari. And Jalen, we get to Jalen's video diary. Supposedly, I guess, Jalen and Fallon, they were probably at the casino, or he was telling her he wanted to go to the casino with the boys. She didn't want him to go to the casino, so she, hollered at him like he ain't going to no casino. She didn't say, no, babe, I wish you would spend more time with me, as she likes to say later on in the episode. She told him, no, you ain't going. So he feels some type of way, and he don't like the fact that she was yelling at him in front of other people and whatnot. And then I believe, do we get to Fallon? Nope, we don't get to Fallon and her video diary, just him and complaining about Fallon. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't know what your reason is for not wanting to be vulnerable and intimate with her to begin with, but I'm pretty sure this whole scenario didn't help the situation. So then we get to, because it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, always. And then it comes back from commercial. You know how we do with every couples retreat. When we come like starting the second, third episode of the season to almost the second to last episode of the season, we have the couple sitting down in some nice scenery, to ask each other some questions. So I guess the question of this week is, what's your least favorite part about our relationship, and has communication gotten better or worse over the years? Everybody has different answers. There's nothing really for me to say. They're valid answers for those who say yes, for those who say no, for those who mention what their least favorite part of the relationship is. So I just thought I would put it out there of what done happen. Okay, back to the actual show. We get the guys, they work out together, and in the, when they're having their guy talk, they're discussing, mostly Fat Boy and Jock, about how to stay faithful, or how do they stay faithful to their females. Because, especially Jock, he said he got the most wandering eyes out of all the guys in the gym. So I guess him and Fat Boy have that connection because of the fact that, their female's main issue with them is their infidelity. So I'm like, okay, I mean, good thinking, because Jock was just like, I be looking at a girl like, yeah, girl, damn. But I have to remember, no, I got better than that. My girl better than that. I got my girl Kendra at home, and she got better than what all y'all got put together. If that's what you would, let us know, because listen, he be saying this, but I don't know. I was rooting for you the last season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, in the beginning of the season, and by the mid-season, everybody was like, "Oh, Victoria, I don't know why you thinking Jock was gonna be faithful and stuff. He ain't." And then you prove me wrong, Jock. I was rooting for you, and then other people had to bring me to reality of what it really was. So, I mean, yeah, that was nice of what you said, but per your credibility, it's not looking like what you saying and what really be happening is any correlation. Okay, there's no correlation. So anywho, after that, then when they started talking about the power struggle, because Jalen mentioned Fallon, how she talked down on him when he said he was going to the casino. So I guess the mentor, Tony, he was letting him know, like, there's a lot of power struggle. I guess, but that's up to you and your significant other to figure out how that dynamic of the relationship is, of like, I guess, who wears the pants, or if this is going to be a 50-50 type of relationship where, it just depends on the situation to know who's going to have the most say in that. It's just, I mean, I guess you can have a thing of power struggle, but at the same time, every relationship is different. So, I mean, I don't want someone defining what they put in the relationship to what I put in my relationship, if that makes sense. I feel like it doesn't make sense, but in my head it makes sense. So we're just gonna go with that. Hopefully it makes sense to you. So then we don't even get to the girls. It was just the guy that was having a conversation. And the only thing I wanted to put into this scene, lastly, before we move on, was Jalen. I noticed that he does talk a little slow, and he literally talks like this. When she wanted to, talk down on me, the next day, she told me she was joking. And that's not a joking matter. It's a matter of disrespect. I wish I would have timed how long it took him to say that sentence, because he literally said that sentence. But okay, Jayla, I get what you're saying, but you're talking a little slow for me. Okay, I'm trying to, because I'll be looking at this thing, I'll be like, when is this hour over? Because y'all giving me a lot of nothing, Like, let's get to the more of the scenes with the couples and AJ. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Like, these exercises are cute, but I don't feel like these couples, some of them, probably half, really be understanding what the purpose of the exercise is. Me personally. But anyway, we get to Phelan. I keep saying Phelan. Fallon and Jalen. They go sit down and talk in their hotel suite, and I'm like, okay, Fallon got a talking problem too. Like, I don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't even think she's on that show anymore. But I'm like, did she always talk like this? Because she's talking like a full-blown Kardashian. She's talking like when he was explaining his reasonings for feeling that she disrespected him. She was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when she's expressing herself in the confessional and in front of Jalen, I'm just like, your voice, if I didn't see your face and I just heard audio of this conversation, I would legit think Jalen is talking to one of the Kardashian girls. I promise you. So I don't know if that's how she always talks, but anywho, she apologizes to Jalen for rudely talking to him the night before, telling him that he got to be with her. But at the same time, like, how you gonna come out on vacation? We don't got the kids. She got 4 kids now, so she don't got no kids. So this is the time where they can connect and be together. And all he wants to do is hang out with other people and go to the casino. She don't say this word for word, but I'm just paraphrasing. So she wants to spend more intimate time because that's where that's the department that he's lacking in. So understandably so. But, there's a way you go about it, Phelan, okay? It's not what you say, but how you say it. I always say that. A lot of people say that too. But we're going to go with me here. I always say that, okay? It's not about what you say, but how you say. So maybe if you said like, oh, let's go to the room, do a little shimmy shimmy or something. I don't know. I don't know what she got to shake or whatnot, but they got a kid, so there was something she got that he likes. So I knew she could have done something like that, but saying you not going is gonna make somebody want to go more. To be honest, my dad did that to me. But like I said, this ain't about me. This is about them, what they got going on. So then we're gonna move on to Shamari and Ronnie. They have their one-on-one with AJ. Well, 2-on-1 really. And of course they're talking about the relationship. So Shamari, she feels lost in the relationship because ever since she had the kids, she feel like she lost herself. And Ronnie's just doing his own thing. Of course she was a part of a female group, so she couldn't really further her career because of the fact that she had to, be barefoot and pregnant at the house taking care of the kids, while Ronnie got to live his life and his career. So that's where she's feeling lost in herself, and pretty much Ronnie doesn't want that for her. He wants her to thrive. AJ says she wants her to thrive. So she said they're going to work on bringing Shamari, giving her a voice back so she can thrive. And when she thrives, then that's going to make Ronnie happy. And then they could look forward to 21 more years because they've been married for 21 years. Let's hope, because I feel like this was like a conversation they had last season. And yeah, we're still having the same issue. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure they're still going to stay together even after this couples retreat season. But we'll see, AJ. We'll see. Hopeful thinking. We then get to everyone meeting up for the next exercise, and I guess in this exercise, there's tabloids of each couples of what the social media or what the masses or you know, I was gonna say paparazzi, what people, the general assumption on social media is about that couple and how they can overcome it and not really let it bother them, trigger them, so to speak. So we get Tyreek, Fat Boy, and Tiana, they go first. And I guess his tabloid, or their tabloid rather, was he expressing that he lost over 100K for his wife's speed date. So I guess I don't know what the situation was, if they went together. I don't know. But he lost a lot of money, and Tiana done told him if he ever went to zero balance, she was gonna beat his butt. Beat his ass. Even Kendra was whispering to Jog like, if you ever did that to me, I will whip your ass too. So clearly, if you don't got no coin, or if you lose all the coin, your butt gonna be whooped by your woman. So, I mean, I could understand the frustration, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think I would say that out loud. I probably would tell my husband, like, you better not do it, but I don't know if I would necessarily, in front of everybody, be like, oh yeah, this was, if he does this, his butt is getting whooped. So, but she lets us know that. So then after them, we get to Chris and Breezy. They're next. It was just happy go lucky, perfect couple type of thing. So there was nothing really to discuss about them. Chris and Breezy, I feel like there's not gonna be much for me to talk about other than what done happened when she apologized for saying she doesn't like the fact that Breezy smokes. Okay. A lot of people don't like the fact that somebody else. Well, girl, but anyway, Ronnie and Shamari are next. Nothing really to take from them and their tabloids. It's just, they stand the test of time. They're like a walking testimony. That's nice. Then we get to Apollo and Sherry next. I guess they were saying, oh, will they ever get married after their long engagement? So Sherry wants to let us know, like, she engaged now. She go like this to show the ring and everything. And I'm just like, okay, congratulations. What I supposed to do? Y'all married. What is, I love marriage, okay? Because marriage brings a whole new caliber to a relationship. For me personally, I know other people are gonna be like, oh, they don't mean nothing. Okay, good for you. But at the same time, it's like, if you can be married, that's fine. But if it's still a toxic relationship, it's still a toxic relationship. Because marriage isn't everything. It's a great thing. Don't get me wrong, okay? Because I am married. So don't get me wrong. Marriage is a great thing. But at the same time, I feel like we're more focused, or other people are more focused on the fact like, oh, I got a ring, so I'm better than. No, not really, because if your relationship still ain't SHIT, it still ain't SHIT. It's just SHIT, documented SHIT. Does that make sense? I don't know, but I'm just like, okay, girl. I guess. But we get to Jock and Kendra. They're next. And it's just the whole same thing. He had a baby on her, whatnot. Next. Then we get to Fallon and Jalen. They're last. And per AJ, I guess they were the most triggered by the tabloid because of the fact of the whole, scandal with her ex-husband, and she was sleeping with Jalen when they were still together. Fallon saying, oh no, technically he was with my castmate Portia. That's why we done fell out because he stepped out on me. So it's like a tit for tat. I do remember vaguely people talking about it before, that they was going back and forth. Did I care about it? No, because I don't even watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta. My mom does. I don't. So I could care less. I don't know who's right, who's wrong, but at the same time, it seems like maybe you guys stepped out on each other. Oh well. Okay, you're not together no more. That's it. So then we move on to the couples. They're speed dating each other. Okay, so they had that little fun activity. It was nice to see. I'm just looking at Ronnie's jacket because I'm just like, oh, that's a nice shirt or jacket. That's a nice, even though it's like more male-esque, masculine, I think I would rock it. I rock my husband's hoodies all the time. His jackets, his hoodies. He gets sweaty very easily. So like, you don't need it. I'll take it. I'll take it off your hands. But then last scene we get to is Jock and Kendra. They go back to the hotel suite to sit down and talk. And Jock lets Kendra know he feels like she's never happy with them. So Kendra said it's not the fact that she's not really happy with him. She's just not happy with the fact that he don't take no accountability. Jock was like, he does take accountability, and it seems like she'd be embarrassed of him by him. She says, no, not necessarily, but yes, sometimes she is embarrassed by him. So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and her dramatic self is like, I wrote it down word for word this time. I don't, I'll be paraphrasing. So, this was a lot of work for me to write down this note. So she says, sometimes you act like things are normal, but it ain't. It's not. She gets to yelling. I'm like, here we go again. This is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta all over again. The last season, this is Love and Hip Hop all over again. So she's going crazy, yelling. Jock is like, Kendra. Because for him, he's just like, she always do this. We be having a calm, cool conversation. And then when the cameras come out, she want to be acting, trying to get buck. He don't say that word for it. I'm paraphrasing on him. But I'm just kind of like, you over it, Jock. I'm over it. I know America's over it. The people who be watching is over it. The producers probably like, dang, this is good drama for the TV show, but they probably over it. Kendra, I don't know what you trying to do, but it's not working, okay? You're trying to act like, oh, you're still so hurt, but yet you still with the guy. You acting like you so hurt, but come to find out, you already knew about the situation before it even came about in the blogs, because you want to cry to Eric and them. He's such a piece of shit, but yet you still with homeboy. You knew about the situation beforehand. So all this theatrics and dramatics is not, like, we're all looking at you like this. We're literally just sitting here just like watching you spaz out for what? We're just really looking at you like we could have ended the episode like 5 minutes ago. So she's still going on and on, yelling whatever, and Jock was over it, so he gets up. He's like, dang, Kendra, you're just so unattractive right now. So she's like, oh, I don't care, B-I-C-T-H. B-I-T-C-H. Look, I'm spelling B-I-T-C-H like Mama D. But anyway, she calls him the B word, and, he just like, she said she could do, bad all by herself, so to speak, for the most part. And he's like, okay, what did he say? You should try it. Goes to the room, lock the door. She tries to go in after him, but because it's locked, she just like, oh, okay, he done locked the door. What you going in after him for? Okay, I just really feel like she be doing this for the camera, like he done said. And behind closed doors, she probably just love to, bang, bang, bang. Because she's still with him for a reason. I'm sure it's the bang, bang, bang from what everybody done said about Jock. So it is what it is. That's the end of the episode. Kendra, she just here to throw the theatrics. Jock just here to just make another check. He really probably don't even want to be there, but he's like, if this is going to get us paid, then I guess by all means, ain't nothing new. Okay, we're probably going to be dealing with them for the rest of this season with the stupid outbursts from Kendra, when at the end of the day, they're probably still going to choose each other at the end in the little commitment ceremony thing. I don't know what else to say. That was the end of the episode. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, please come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Be easy, breezy, lemon squeezy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.